Hi folks, today's session is coming from my kids' bedroom, so it's a little bit smaller space, but all we need is the mat. No weights today, you'll be happy to know, unless you really love working with weights like I do. But we're going to do quite a lot of stretching today, so you'll enjoy that side of it, so lots of mobility work. And I want you to first of all start off in child's pose, so lying down on your heels. So by that I mean bringing yourself down, knees nice and wide, fix your bottom deep down into the heels, and then lower your head and chest down. And I want you to make it a relaxing child's pose. So no forcing through the arms, just allowing your body to just sink down as far as it possibly goes through your breath. And every time you exhale, just feel your body just giving in a little bit more. So those of you that don't like child's pose, I always give the option is to do a wide knee on the elbows, cat stretch, just working in a nice curve, and then a gentle release, just lifting the eye gaze and the buttocks. So squeezing through the belly, tucking under, and then releasing again. Otherwise, just sit back into your heels and just relax down. Feel that lovely space being created through your spine as you breathe. Now begin to reach your arms forward, spreading your fingers, lifting the elbows, and lift up as you inhale. Sit your buttocks firmly into the heels and melt down again. 3 deep breaths here. And then carefully just bringing yourself up onto your hands and knees and finding a nice neutral spine. I'm just going to change my computer positioning. So find a neutral spine on your hands and knees. And then take a little wriggle through the hips, a little wriggle through the shoulders. And then I want you to take your front leg to the floor, your back finger, your back hand to the ground. And when we're ready, we're going to take an exhale, a little lift. I'm pushing through the heel of my foot, and then I'm dropping back down. I'm lifting up, and I'm releasing. So I want you to exhale as you reach, inhale as you tap. Exhale as you reach, inhale as you tap. Soft on this arm at the front. There's no pressure. If you're feeling a little bit unstable, perhaps try tucking your toes under on that stabilizing leg and just finding a little bit more stability there. If it doesn't work for you, lose the hand completely and work the leg on its own. Just give me 4 more. Exhaling up, squeeze the butt, don't dip that lower back. And when you're done, your last one, pause at the top, reach through, pushing through the heel, the fingertips, and then lower down. Arch the spine. Drop down to your elbows, interlacing your fingers, a triangular position through the arms, tucking your toes under, lifting the knees up to a hover. We're going to step our front leg back, followed by our back leg. Lift the hips to bring that front knee in, stays at a hover, and back knee in. So we extend the front leg, extend the back leg, hips come low. Then lift the hips to pull the knee back in, and then the other knee. So just continue through your breath. Take it away. Pull it in. Pull it in. Now carry on like that. If that's too much for you, then drop your knees here. Find your breath. Then extend one leg back, followed by the other leg. Pause there. Pull that knee into the floor and that knee into the floor. So we're always leading, no matter which one you're going to do, we're always leading with the front leg. 2 more. Pause here. So if your knees are down, lift them up. Eye gaze forward, extend your spine, hold it, breathe. Squeeze through the belly, feel those thighs getting active. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knees down. Arch the spine. Push yourself up onto your hands, neutral spine, taking that back leg to the floor, toes down, fingertips reach forward. Again, find your balance. We take a breath in, exhale, lift. Inhale, drop. Make sure that arm on the floor is soft. And release. So I'm stretching away, reaching and tapping down. Keep that knee beautifully extended. So the buttocks far enough. Again, if you feel a little bit wobbly, tuck those toes under and work with a little bit more stability in the foot. If you want to lose the arm, just work the leg on its own. That's absolutely fine. I'd rather you did this exercise with a good technique than try and struggle through if you're not very well balanced. So that's important. 4 more. Last one. Drop it down. Come down to your elbows. Tuck your toes under. Hover the knees. Okay. Extend the spine. Squeeze those out. Back leg tap forward and back. Sorry. Front leg comes back. Drop the hips. Then lift the hips. Pull the back knee in. The front knee. Back leg. Front leg. Drop the hips. Lift the hips. Back knee. Front knee. Extend, extend, drop the hips. And if you want to make it a little bit easier, if you're struggling, stay in that same position, extend the back leg back, and then join it with the front leg. Then pull that knee in, ground it, and pull that knee in. Yeah, so it's a little bit easier. Push away, then hold your plank briefly, pull the knee in, and drop it down. 4 more for me. Last 2. Last 1. And as you pull in, hold that hover, squeeze that belly, hold it. 5, 4, eye gaze forward. 2 and 1. Drop the knees down, slide the fronts of the feet to the floor. And once again, a little bit closer in with the legs this time. We reach into child's pose. Take your hands a little bit wider. Sink the head and chest down. Park the bottom into the heels. And find your breath. Roll it out. Come back to a flat back. We're going to come down to the floor. So drop down to your elbows, slide your legs back, and lower your body to the ground. Good. So we're going to bring our arms around down by our thighs. Eye gaze to the floor, shoulders pulled back, and hover the arms. So our arms are staying hovered the whole time. Pin the feet down to the floor slightly wider than your hips and maybe your shoulders. We take a breath in. On the exhale, we raise the upper body off the floor, pulling our hands back, arms high. We inhale, lower down. We exhale, lift up, squeeze through the arms, and inhale, release. Go again, lift. And down. Now we're going to add a 5 pulse press. So come up, lift those arms, press for 5, 4, 3, squeeze those abs, and 1, and drop it down. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift up, squeeze those arms, press for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Carry on. Now this feels too much for you. Push your arms into the floor, keeping that same position. So my thumbs are pushing into the ground. And then just lift up with a little bit of arm support. So I'm just pulling my shoulders back and bending my elbows, lightly pushing into the thumbs to raise the chest and lowering it down again. Okay, so if you've got a very vulnerable lower back and you don't want to come up too high, but you want to work those postural muscles, just squeeze through the shoulder blades, pull those arms back, but thumbs stay grounded to help support. 3 more, guys. Squeeze the butt, squeeze the belly. it up. Lovely. Okay, let's go one more. Everybody come up together. Lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, and pulse those arms. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. So if your hands are down here, just pull your shoulders back, pull your shoulders back, squeeze those shoulder blades, press, press. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, turn your head to one side, and let the body relax. Bring your forehead back to the floor. Bring your hands around, sliding down just to the temples. So my fingertips are pressing onto the temples. You take my feet a little bit wider. We're going to take a breath in, squeeze the butt. Exhale, we're going to come up into back extension. We're going to turn and twist up to one side, back to the middle, rotate, twisting the other side, back to the middle, and lower everything down together. So we're really encouraging that rotation. We're just pivoting on the spot, hip bones stay grounded, you're squeezing deep into the belly. As you twist, you lift that elbow up to the sky, squeeze the shoulder blade, and then lower it all down. If that feels too much, keep your hands on the ground and just do a gentle lift. So my fingers are pointing in towards one another. You probably can't see, they're pointing in like that. So you lift up lightly, you do a little squeeze into the shoulder blades, you turn to center, a little squeeze in the shoulder blades, we turn back into the middle, and then lower it all the way back down. So if you're using a supporting arm, the fingertips are pointing towards one another, just as if they were resting on your temples. Just give me 2 more of these because they are strong. Rotate, 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 lift. Rotate, 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 lift as you breathe out. Inhale, center, exhale down. Last one. Lift, rotate, squeeze, center, rotate, squeeze, center. Everyone pause, lift up, and pulse, pulse, pulse. Come on. Squeeze it up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And drop it down, turning your head the opposite direction. And breathe. Let the body relax. You always got that freedom to wobble through the hips, releasing the lower back. Forehead back to the floor. So we're going to work the legs this time. So I want you to bring them about hip width apart. Engage the abs and hover the legs up. So your 2 options here. If you want to make it deep and hard, you're going to squeeze the legs together, crossing the foot over the opposite heel, and then releasing back out. Then cross the other way, foot over the heel, squeeze, and release out. Now that is strong on the lower back, okay? So for me, I'm going to show you a little bit of an easier option where you pull your feet together and you open them out and drop. Lift, squeeze, open, release. So it's not a big move, but it's about encouraging all those muscles to, especially inner thigh muscles, to really engage. If you're doing the crossovers, just keep working. Try not to let the legs drop to the floor, just squeezing, crossing over, and releasing. It's strong on the back, so be very wary of that. If both those exercises are really not for you and it is a little bit too intense, just take it to a nice opening, center and down, lift, open, center and down. Whichever one you're doing, give me 4 more. Remember to really squeeze in through the lower belly. If you're doing individual legs, just 2 more each side. Keep it slow and controlled. And when you've done that last one, everybody pause, hover the legs. Everybody squeeze the legs together and swim kick those legs. Options to stay here, just keep swim kick, keeping the legs extended or hover the upper body. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and drop it. Sliding those hands back to the shoulders. lifting out slowly, pulling the knees in, a deep stretch into the spine, dropping the chin to the chest, tailbone under, curving that spine. And then sit it back into child's pose, bringing your hands down by your feet if you can, or stay in cat stretch, maybe drop the elbows, hold onto your feet and just encourage that curve of the spine. Good. Roll it up slowly. So we're going to come back onto the hands and knees. You're going to float, front leg up and the back arm up. And we're going to breathe in. We're going to exhale. We're going to curl it under. So we scoop the belly in. We bring the elbow to the knee. But this time, as we extend, we take it out to a 45-degree angle. So as if you're pulling out to the corners of the room. Then curl it under on the exhale. Inhale, out to those corners of the room. And reach. And curl. And reach. Lovely. Keep it going. So if it's too much, you just lose the hand. Just tuck the chin towards the knee and then lengthen that leg out to that 45-degree angle. So curling under, lengthening out. Three more of these. Tuck those toes under on that stabilizing leg if you need to have a little bit of support. And on that last one, open out to the corners of the room, hold it there and pulse press. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. So we're going to turn onto our sides again, dropping to the elbow. So we're going to come onto the elbow and roll onto the side. So I've got my knees slightly in front and my hip on the floor, but my rib cage lifted off the ground. So you're going to do a combination exercise here. So we're going to lift the hips, extend the arm and leg, drop them back, and lower down. So we inhale up, exhale, extend, inhale, drop, and lower it down. Yeah? Up, reach, bend, and drop. Up, reach, bend, and drop. Just carry on. And drop. Reach, up, and down. This one, lift up, hold here, pulse the hips. So squeeze the underneath of your waistline, pushing up towards the sky. If you want to make it harder, extend that leg and keep it going, filling that underneath buttock. You can stay here if you wish. If you need a bit of encouragement with the arm, you can drop the arm. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the arm, extend the leg. Reach, hand to here, and press and extend. Press and extend. So this is too much. Drop down to your hip and hold it here. Okay? Just pulling in, pushing away, pulling in, pushing away. Otherwise, bear it on that buttock on the floor. 5, squeeze, up and over, squeeze. Knee comes high, squeeze, and 2, and 1, and drop the knee, float the hips down, and bring yourself down onto the floor. Just drop your head down, take a breath. Roll slightly into that buttock, pulling the knees in. Come up onto your elbow. And we are here. grab the knees and just pull your knees and tuck them towards your chest. So I'm just perched on my right buttock. And then you want to lift yourself up tall, hand to the head. So we did this a couple of weeks ago. We're going to do it again today. We'll do it with both legs. So we're going to reach down to our little toe. We're going to extend the legs away and drop down. So my shoulder blade is on the floor. My legs are hovered. Pulling in, reach. Lengthen away. And pull in. And lengthen away. And pull in. So the easy version is to keep that leg at the bottom extended, join them. Or you don't have to sit back. You might just want to stay here and pull in to here, okay? Or you might want to do it with two legs, just pulling in to here. But actually, it's a natural move to sink back. 5 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. And let's roll a little bit more into the buttock. Pull those knees a little bit closer in. Lift the arm, lift the legs, and hold, hold. Lift the chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, and bend. Drop. And release down. Just pull that knee in. Tuck it in towards your armpit. Open the hip out. Slide your hands to either catch the foot or the back of the calf. Open the knee out to the sky and straighten that leg up to the ceiling. Just stretch out into the hamstring. Open the leg out as you pull your hip forward. Pull the leg closer in towards you. Try to straighten through the knee. So if you're holding here, you're still trying to push that leg straight. Hold it for another few seconds. And then just gently release the leg, bend the knee, drop the knees together. I want you to just tuck the knees a little bit higher. Open this arm, drop this arm down, and then roll into your shoulders and open out that arm behind you. Then perhaps encourage a little bit more rotation. Let's stretch the hamstring, catch the leg, straighten out through the knee, pull the toes in, heels away, and breathe. Try and drive that back shoulder blade deeper towards the floor and straighten out this front leg. Putting the toes in, extending that leg. One more breath. And then carefully releasing the leg, dropping the knees down together. Bring yourself back over and then turn all the way over onto your hands and knees again. So we're going to work the other side. What I'm going to do, because we're coming onto our side, I'm going to switch ends. So if you wish to switch ends, do so now. If you are like me, side on to the camera and you want to see what's going on, switch ends. If you're lengthways, you might just want to stay where you are and just work the other side. Okay, so hands and knees. So I'm doing my front leg again because I did my other leg on the other side, and my back arm. Because I've switched ends, it's the same thing. We pause there. Take a breath in. On the exhale, we gently curl under, squeezing the elbow to the knee. And then as we reach out, we come out to a 45-degree angle, reaching the arm and the leg to the corner of the room. Curl it in. Inhale, reach it away. Exhale, curl it in. Tuck under, squeeze. Inhale, reach. So again, if that's too much for you, drop the hand and stretch the leg on its side. Curl it in, tucking the chin towards the knee, arch the spine, flatten the spine, reach away. 4 more. Slow, controlled. And again, if you're feeling a little bit unstable, tuck those toes under on that back leg to give you a little bit more balance. The breath as you reach, curling in. 2 more. Now we hold that last one out. And let's pulse, 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 pulse. Squeeze, squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Arch that back one more time. And gently release it through. So we're going to come down onto our sides. So what I want you to do is just turn yourself over onto your elbow. Bring the knees, but don't tuck them all the way up in front of the hips. Take them away a little bit. Now this hand starts here. So we lift up. We reach the arm and the leg. We drop the knee and the arm, and we drop the hip back down. So we inhale, reach, stretch, drop, and let the hips go. So make sure you're lifted out of your rib cage as you do this. So you're not sinking down, so the pressure's not in that shoulder. You lift up and you take that strong reach. It's an extension, it's an elongation of the body. So it's very important that you find that absolute stretch. So it starts off obviously quite easy. Dropping down. 4 more of these. Just be careful you're not putting all the pressure into that shoulder. It's very easy just to kind of drop into it. Use your core strength here to stop any weight coming in here. So we're coming up to our last one. And then once you've done your last extension, drop the knee and the arm back and then pulse the hips up and down. So again, you can take your hand here if you need a little bit of work. If you want to make it harder, take the arm up and the leg out and reach there. You'll just, as soon as you lift that leg up, that leg just instantly pushes more weight down into your lower buttock. So you might want to stay here if you're feeling you're losing it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Now extend that leg, fingertips aside. Let's go. Press and extend. Press and extend. Breathe. If it's too much, drop down to your hip and work there, because it is harsh on that buttock. And it's quite harsh on the shoulders, even though you're using your core. Keep it going for 5, stretch it, 4, stretch it, come on, 3, reach, and 2, last 1, kick away, drop the knees, and take yourself all the way down to the floor. Find your breath. Extend your legs. Come up onto your elbow and roll subtly into that buttock on the floor. So again, don't put the pressure into the shoulder. Lift the knees in and hug them in. So if you can hug your knees in there, you've kind of got the right angle to start this exercise. Then bring the hand to the side of the head. So the reach is to the toes, and you extend the legs away and you sink back, shoulder blade brushes the floor, then you pull back in and reach again. Sink back, brush the floor. Now, if it's too much, keep that underneath leg extended and work the top leg on its own like that. Equally, if you don't want to sink back, stay upright and just work there, there. Abs are still working. Or stay in both legs, but don't sink back. I think it's easier to sink back. Drop, drop, and 5. Squeeze into the belly. 4, 3, and 2. And then, of course, hold that last one in. Pull the thighs in. Extend the legs, extend the arms. You don't have to. Lift up through the chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, Roll it back, drop it down. Keep this knee soft, pull this top knee in, open out through the hip and drive it in towards the armpit. After a couple of breaths, take hold of the leg or the calf and extend that leg up to the sky, opening out through the hip, but pulling the hip forward as you try and encourage the leg away. Straighten through the knee and drive the foot down towards you. So it's exactly the same, you're just holding the leg, we're just trying to loosen up these hamstrings. And then carefully just release the leg, dropping the knees together. And then just this time, rolling yourself over onto your backs. And just set yourself down on your backs, bending your legs, feet onto the ground. Arms down by your side. So we lift the legs to tabletop. We stay here for a little bit. We're going to open the legs out wide and close the legs back. Inhale, open. Exhale, shut. Inhale, open. Exhale, shut. So if you want to make this a little bit harder, lift the feet a little bit higher, push the thighs away, and take it more between an extended leg and a bent knee. So we're just a little bit in a higher angle. If you want to make it even harder, go to full extension, 45-degree angle, opening and closing with your legs fully extended. So there are your three options. Breathe. So the legs aren't too low. They are purposely at a 45-degree angle because I want you to focus on the elongation through the legs, extension through the knee, the squeeze of the inner thigh. So whether or not you're here, it's still the same. Opening of the hip, squeezing your inner thigh. And give me 5 more. Squeeze. This is going to be challenging. If it's not, make it harder. And 3. And 2. And pause, pause, pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just hug those knees in. Take your feet down to the floor as wide as your mats. So if you know you're quite open in your hips, you might want to go a little bit wider than your mats. And then open the knees and the ankles so they line up. So I've got a nice wide stance. And then when you're ready, exhale, roll your hips up into a bridge. And we're going to do a bridge squeeze. So we inhale, lower the hips a few inches. Exhale, raise the hips and pull the knees together. Inhale, open, lower the hips. Exhale, squeeze. Option, if you wish, is do this on your toes. So you're working into your calf muscles. But you might find when you come onto your toes, it allows a little bit more give in that squeeze because your ankles are no longer your stabilizing blocks. You have that rotation through your feet. So if that is the case, take your feet a little bit wider and work from there. So that's only if you're on your toes. 5, 4, I'm going to keep my feet flat because I feel it's a little bit harder. 3, 2, and everyone lift up, squeeze your thighs together and press, 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 press. Hips up, hips up, hips up. Squeeze your butt. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, open. Exhale, roll it out. Good. And just let your knees fall side to side. Keeping those legs wide. Legs come up to tabletop. Closing your toes together. Lift the feet a little bit higher, so now my knees are locked open. Keeping your arms wider than your hips. Tap your toes down, squeeze deep into your abs, lift the toes up. Take it very slightly out to the side and back in, drop into the middle. So very slightly out to the side, it'll roll over into that buttock. Shoulders relax. So every time you go to the side, you do one in the middle. Knees wide. Now that's too much, make your lever shorter. So you tap your heels a little bit closer in towards your bottom, lift it up, tap your heels a bit closer in towards your bottom, and so on. So it's just a shorter lever. Or if you want to make it harder, longer lever, keeping those knees open. So you tap down, you lift up, you tap to the side, you lift up. So if I do a longer lever in the center, I actually don't go as low to the side, but that's fine. I'm still encouraging that work through the obliques. Because if I go all the way to the floor, I'm going to lift and roll completely over into my hip and lose my strength through the core. And instead my joints are going to take over, which could strain into the lower back. So just decide what you're going to do. You might want to make your lever longer on the middle one and shorter on the sides. Longer in the middle and shorter on the sides. Or just stick to doing your lower level, center, lower level, center. Give me 4 more taps. When you've done your last tap, bring your legs up to the middle, lift your feet higher, open those knees, and just flap those wings. Open the knees, open the knees, open the knees, open the knees, breathe. If you want more, lift up into a crunch. If you want more, push the levers away, but keep the work moving. 10 seconds here, keep working it. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep those feet together. Grab your shins around your feet and drop your heels into your bottom. Drop your head and shoulders down, back flat, and open out through the hips. Base the spine into the ground, shoulders pulled back, and just breathe. Drop the foot. You can either do the buttock stretch holding onto your legs. So I've got my back hand holding my heel. I'm going to loop my left arm underneath the calf and hold onto the front of my foot. And then just drop the head and shoulders, encourage that leg in towards me. Now that stretches the outside of my buttock. But you can do our standard one where you pop the foot on the ankle and the knee and then work it there. So if you're doing it the way I'm showing you now, open that front knee out, roll lightly over into that back buttock and use your arms. And if you're here, just try and lift the heel a little bit higher, pull the leg in a bit closer, but keep the coccyx on the floor. 2 more breaths. And then gently release that foot to the ground, stop to the other side, catch the leg. So here I loop my back arm under, catching the foot, and then drop the head and shoulders and encourage that leg in. But that doesn't work for everybody, okay? I'm opening out the knee, feeling that stretch. If you want to take it on top of the knee, grab the leg, head down, shoulders down, a little bit more weight into that left buttock, and breathe. And then when you're ready, just free that leg. And then use the front leg, or if you're not using your legs at all, just slide your hands around the back of the thighs, roll up, bring yourself around and sit yourself in a comfortable position. Cross legs, or if that doesn't work for you, extend your legs out to the side. Bring your fingertips down by your side. Raise your left arm up and stretch it. Slide your right arm and come into a side bend, open the shoulder, and just coming into a lovely C shape through the side of the body, pinning the left hip down as you reach. And then inhale, raise the arm up, lift tall, take the right arm, stretch it high, slide your left arm, side bend, C shape, opening up that shoulder, pushing that right hip down. And then inhale, raise the arm slowly. Lift up tall, slide your fingertips in, shoulders pull back, open your arms, inhale the arms up, exhale the arms down. Give yourselves a bow and a clap. Have a fabulous week. Thank you for tuning in to Pilates this week, and bye for now.